Hey guys, it's Aaron Entertainment here. It's all about episode. It's all about the pop episode 14. And with that, a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things to talk about. Justice League Snyder cut. Mortal Kombat trailer came out. Hey Anakin, what's up?
What's up?
Not much, man. There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm. It's my birthday today. Did you know?
Uh, oh no, I didn't. Oh, happy birthday!
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got.
Happy birthday, man.
Are you live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay.
So what was I gonna go start with? So yeah, a lot of stuff. We got. Let's start with the Justice League Snyder cut.
There you go.
So you saw it. You saw it, right? Obviously Sunday.
I did
It's the
see
final
it.
trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's your view on it?
I mean, I'm not expecting anything amazing to come out of this. It does look cool. I like the new look for Steppenwolf. Um, Dark Side looks cool, and then there was that one shot where you saw his minions, Granny Goodness, and oh, I can't remember the name.
Dayside.
Yeah,
Dayside. I think it's Dayside.
Dub Dasad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know,
Dayside.
so that looked really cool. Um, and we saw some of the scenes that we knew had been shot at the time that they cut, like the scene where Barry saves Iris from a car. Um, and you know, so it looks cool. I'm still not expecting anything, you know, like top tier MCU level, because the movies that Zack Snyder put out before this, you know, we're never at that level. But my thing going into this has been, this can't be worse than the Justice League movie we already got.
No,
I mean,
no.
it can't. And there are people that are saying, "You sure? You sure about that?" Yes, I have seen in the last. So here's the thing: in the last year, I have I have I have rewatched Justice League. I saw Catwoman for the first time,
Oh,
and I still remember seeing X-Men Origins Wolverine in the theaters. The one time I have seen that movie. All three of those are bad movies. I put Justice League as the worst of them. Worse than Catwoman, which, let me tell you, the first the first 30 minutes of Catwoman, I was actually like, okay, maybe this isn't as bad as what people are thinking. And then she gets her powers and it just tanks.
hello,
It
Jobber. Oh, Anakin.
it takes. Hey, Jobber. It the quality of that movie tanks, and Justice League was still worse. So, you know, it's there's no way that this can be worse. But you know what? If it's around the level of Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, I'll be satisfied,
Yeah,
because that was enjoyable enough for
yeah.
me.
I mean, for that movie, BVS. I know a lot. I like BVS, but to really understand, you have to see the Ultimate Edition, like because it did explain a lot of it more. And this is gonna be a 4-hour movie. So, but what I like about this trailer is it's basically
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
Yeah, it's a little bit more subdued take than Joker than what we saw in Suicide Squad, which I also rewatched this
it's
year.
a different Joker. You can tell his demeanor is different.
Yeah. So now, and when we know Leto did come back to shoot some scenes, so
Yeah,
maybe he responded to how his portrayal was seen in Suicide Squad, and decided to kind of rein it in a little bit. Maybe he's taking a bit of inspiration from Joaquin Phoenix and how he did it. But it definitely seems like a little bit of a different one. It will be really interesting to see how his Joker and Ben Affleck's Batman really interact, because the brief moment we got in Suicide Squad really didn't give us any kind of idea.
This Joker is in a nightmare scene, so this is not like that's not like a present time Joker. But sure. I agree with you. That Suicide Squad Joker, I don't blame Jared. I blame the Warner Brothers, because they interfered in that movie a lot, especially with Joker.
Yeah.
And what I take from this Joker, it looks like he lost a smile, like a Shawn Michaels promo back in '97. He lost a smile. That's what it looks like he did.
So you're saying he just has a knee injury?
He saw a lot of stuff, but I'm like, this nightmare. I'm like, Joker, shouldn't you love this kind of chaos though? Isn't this your thing? But it looks like it's not the case here. Yeah, but we'll see.
He did lose the damage tattoo. It looks like.
Thank God.
So yeah, I was never a big fan of Joker with all the tattoos, because it's just like, who's gonna be crazy enough to actually give the Joker tattoos, knowing how crazy he is? That's just.
But why would he? Why would he need a tattoo saying damaged? We know he's damaged. Like, you don't need a tattoo saying that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like this picture. I know this is fan made, but the Joker in the background. And this is the picture talking about Darkseid.
Yeah, because you got Granny Goodness there on by Darkseid's left hand, and then Desaad by his right. And yeah, Darkseid looks cool. And you know what? I was worried. It was like, how much is he going to be inspired by Thanos design wise? But it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, and this Superman pick is awesome when he has
fires. That's awesome. The black suit looks really good.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
We know Darkseid's gonna fire an Omega Beam. I wonder who's gonna hit. He's gonna hit with it, because if he fires it, he has to hit someone with it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was that story in the comics where Batman died after getting hit with the Omega beams, but then he ended up actually time hopping.
Isn't that when he shot Darkseid with the radiation gun?
I don't remember.
Same time?
I don't remember, because I didn't read, because it happened in.
That's when
I can't remember if it happened in
Cal, right?
I can't remember if it happened in Final Crisis or whatnot, but I know. But then I read the first few issues of Batman Through Time, and it started with him as a caveman and jumping through these periods, and I thought, well, this is really weird. But then eventually, I think some members of the League, and with Booster Gold, ended up basically following him and finally catching up with him, and it was a really weird.
This is a time when Dick Grayson was Batman, right? For a time being.
This is what caused him to take up the mantle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was for the. I think the Battle of Cal was just before Dick Grayson. Remember, Jason Todd impersonated Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And, because it went Darkseid hit Batman with a Mega Beam. Batman died, and then Battle for the Cowl happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. And then the Grayson actually won, became Batman. for the time being until until Bruce Wayne returned, and they had two Batmans, kind of.
Yeah, which hey, I like Dick Grayson as Batman. It it seemed cool. He brought a different thing to it, but to me, if it's not Bruce Wayne's Batman, it's got to be Terry McGinnis. Just has to be,
Joker kind of went away when Dick Grayson was Batman because he knew that wasn't the same Batman.
Yeah. Well, Dick had his own history with Joker, not to the extent of Jason Todd, but he had his own history with him.
Yeah, that's why you're right. This movie can't be any worse than 2017 Justice League. It's gonna be better. It just has to be. This is Zack Snyder's vision, what he wanted from the start, man. When he wanted to finish, and
I mean, there's all these people saying, "Oh, it's it can't be like a director's cut if he went back and shot stuff." It's like, well, it's like it's not exactly a director's cut, but it's closer to what he was going to have it be, and he says, there aren't going to be any scenes from what Whedon shot, in the movie, which is which, if that's true, how much was left?
I've seen some scenes in the trailer from the original Justice League movie.
Well, sure, but I mean, that original Justice League movie did have stuff that was shot by Snyder, and I don't know if we 100% know what was shot by Whedon and what was shot by Snyder. Obviously, all the stuff,
comedy stuff is Whedon definitely,
and all the
comedy stuff.
Sure, and all the stuff where they had to CG out the mustache.
Yeah.
Well, which thank goodness we're not going to be dealing with any of that, because it was a thing where I couldn't look at Superman without thinking, oh, they CG out his mustache. Even when there were scenes that they did have during the original shoot, every time it looked off. It looked really bad.
It looked like an android, huh? He looked like a robot.
Yeah, well, and the worst was that thing right at the beginning of the movie with the kids who shot the video. That was the worst because it's clear right on, looking at his face, and they tried to make it look like, it's gonna look off because it's a kid shooting it on a cell phone. But it's like, cell phone video quality is pretty good.
Yeah. But the comedy in that movie was like Flash is like, what's your superpower? Witch. Being witch is not a superpower. It could grant you more stuff, like a Batcave and stuff, and all those tools, all those weapons, computers, all that stuff, the technology. But that's not a power. It's not an ability. And then what I hate about that Superman fight when he comes back is like Batman's like, oh, I think I'm bleeding inside. I'm like, you've been doing this for 20 years. You would know that. You don't need to think that. You would know that.
Yeah. I'm hoping that the music for this is going to be more what we saw in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. Because what I did not like I don't like the music in Justice League because I believe Joss is the one who brought in Danny Elfman, because I think it was supposed to be Hans Zimmer, and I think
yes, Hans Zimmer did original.
Yeah. And so then you had a thing where then for Superman, oh, well, let's bring back John Williams' Superman score. Oh, for Batman? Well, hey, I did a Batman score. That was really good. Let's just bring back that theme. And it doesn't, like, the version of the Batman theme we got was cool, but it didn't fit this universe. No. We already had a Batman theme. The Man of Steel theme, I actually like that theme. And it does, and the John Williams, Christopher Reeve theme doesn't fit this Superman. It just felt off. Not to mention the fact, Wonder Woman theme was done just
awesome. It's an awesome themed Wonder Woman theme.
Yeah, and it didn't sound good because it needs that guitar. It needs that guitar. Just hearing it as an orchestral thing doesn't sound right.
We didn't even get in '84 that music, I don't believe, that theme.
No, and I was really bummed about that, because it's like, why do you have this awesome theme if you're not going to do it? Especially when it's an electric guitar that got so huge in the 80s with all the hair metal bands and whatnot. Why would you not throw it in there?
I don't know. Ever since Snyder had to go away from shooting Justice League because of tragedy with his family, his daughter. It seems like Warner Bros. Just doesn't care. It didn't care about him. It's quite obvious they didn't care because they cared more about finishing Justice League on time. And then, because they wanted to catch up Marvel so fast, Marvel had a way head start.
Yeah.
And what this did to Warner Bros. Is mess up their whole future because Snyder was clearly setting up the future until they had to step away, and then they got ready to rush it. What they should have done is delayed the Justice League movie to 2018 or whenever Snyder was ready, because they really screwed up the whole universe, and they're trying to fix it now because they're trying to get that Black Adam movie, the Wonder Woman 84 came out, Suicide Squad, but if this Justice League movie by Snyder Cut does very, very well, it makes Warner Brothers look really, really stupid.
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, I haven't been impressed with a lot of the big budget Warner Brothers movies for years now. I mean, even going back to the Harry Potter movies, like I'm a huge fan of the books, and the movies were fine, but they weren't.
No,
they weren't top tier amazing movies. The only one that really kind of was Prisoner of Azkaban, which was the third one. Like all the others, it was a thing where it's like if you didn't know the books, it was really confusing. And then they do this, and then they finish that and go on to DC. And yeah, they wanted to get to that Marvel level so fast, they didn't have the patience for it. And look where it is now. You've got Marvel, who's knocking it out of the park, has the #1 highest grossing film of all time, and what's DC doing? Hopefully the Flash movie will give them the chance to really kind of reset, because that's supposed to be a Flashpoint movie. So hopefully once that happens, that will be a way for them to really reboot the universe, start it over, get it on the right track, have them take their time, because they cannot be trying to rush through things, because Marvel is so far ahead at this point. It's not even worth trying to compete with them. It's about just do something that works for you, and you'll naturally get to that point. We see it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's true. Now, speaking of Marvel, WandaVision episode 6, and guys, there's gonna be spoilers here, so if you want to be spoiled, stay. If you don't, leave. But episode 6, I didn't think it was as good as episode 5, but it was still a solid episode.
Go ahead.
What do you think?
Episode 4 and 5 back to back were so incredible. I wouldn't say it was a lull. Did it go down a little bit? Yeah, a little bit, but not too much. I think there was still enough really interesting and good stuff. The theme song for the Growing Pains show was awesome. That was an awesome song. But what I did find interesting was I think there was enough really interesting stuff not in the sitcom stuff, because like the sitcom story of the kids getting a dog and then losing the dog, and then losing the dog all in the same. Or no, that was the previous episode. This was the Halloween. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The Halloween episode, I didn't think it was particularly, great, but the stuff that we got that was more outside of the sitcom stuff, but in the Hex, I was really intrigued. Like at this point, I'm not sure which Quicksilver this is.
Yeah,
because
me too.
He seems to have the memories of the MCU Quicksilver, but clearly looks different. And it's like, okay, if this is the MCU one, number one, how is he back? Number two, why does he look differently? and then Vision going out and seeing the people, like really kind of like in a loop or frozen, and then talking with Agnes and him deciding, okay, I need to find out what's going on. That was awesome, and the ending was awesome with Vision trying to break free and him like falling apart, almost like he was getting snapped.
That's the reason Wanda didn't want him to go far or alone, because if she figured it out and tried to get out of the hex, he would die. The only way he could be living is in that hex.
Yeah, that's definitely what it looks like. And so her expanding the hex.
Yeah.
I think the episode we get tomorrow, because the episode tomorrow is going to be the one where it's going to have the mockumentary style stuff.
It's Modern Family, I believe, is opening, like Modern Family.
Yeah, and so we are probably, because so much of the Sword agents are now inside the hex, along with Darcy.
Circus.
I think it's going to get more. I think we're going to get more stuff within the hex itself of like what's going on, and really what's going on. It's not going to have as much of a sitcom thing. And there's also I also think it's going to like kind of like really break down, because there's a scene from the initial trailer of Wanda, and she's in her living room in what we now know is this episode, and all the objects around her start flashing through the different time periods. So you see it in black and white, you see it in the 70s style, in the 80s, and then in modern, and it keeps going. So she appears to be losing control of it. I'm expecting this next episode is really going to bring it back up. What do you think of the costumes?
We all know it's the original X-Men costumes, but I felt like it felt a little flat for me. Like, it's good to see them, but like they could have done better. Like, it looked like it didn't fit.
Wanda's looked amazing.
Yeah, but Vision didn't look good. Vision did not look good.
Well, but it looked homemade. Like, and I think that was the thing.
The idea.
Yeah, and I like how they came up with a reason for why they look like their comic book counterparts.
What?
Oh, I'm a Sokovian fortune teller.
Yeah, gypsy or something like that.
No, it was a fortune teller, and then Vision's like, "Oh, I'm a Mexican wrestler." And it's like,
yeah.
And it's like, I was like, okay, come on. I've seen Rey Mysterio. I've seen Pentagon. I know
he's not wearing a mask.
No, I know what like. Come on.
You can tell he's not wearing a mask.
Yeah, but it looked awesome, and I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I'm in.
So the theory is now that it's not Manifesto that's behind it because of Agnes, because it looks like Agnes may not be behind it now, behind anything now, like part of it. Even though for the past few episodes before this one, it looks like there's something suspicious with her. It looks like it's not now. So the theory is now it might be the villain Nightmare, and Nightmare may have something involved with the Doctor Strange movie. To me, Manifesto doesn't make sense. I know Manifesto's in the House of M storyline, but I think we need kind of Ghost Rider involved in Manifesto and stuff. I don't know.
Well, they do have the Ghost Rider rights now, so I mean.
Yeah. Well, they did have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider, right?
Oh yeah.
But
it wasn't Johnny Blaze. It was
Johnny Blaze.
It was the second guy. I wasn't watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by the time that came around. I kind of I stopped watching, not on purpose. It's just life got busy. But I stopped watching after the first half of season 3 when
with Hive.
No, when they rescued Elizabeth Henderson's character from that planet.
Oh yeah, so Hive is from. Yes, that's Hive is the second half of that season.
Oh, okay.
When what's his name? Phil Coulson, right? When he killed what's his name?
Brett Dalton is the actor.
Brett Dalton is the Hydra, right? Part of Hydra, right? So Phil Coulson kills him.
Mhm.
But in that, you know how that man was trapped in that world with Elizabeth Hench's character.
Yeah, I do remember
Apparently,
that.
he was apparently
Oh,
Hive.
okay.
So when Barrett Dolan's character died, Hive took over his body for a second.
Right.
He became the
Yeah.
main villain for the second half.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember seeing all that, and then yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
That
the
was.
second. I like the second season the best with Sky's family. How Kyle MacLachlan's character, his father's like, he's not really a bad guy, but he did some bad things just to save her mother and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And even telling her his mother is like turns out to be an evil bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. We could get all sorts of stuff popping up, but um, I mean, at this point, like I've never been one to think Mephisto is behind everything simply because that's what it was in the comics, and Marvel has and Marvel has wanted to do something different for the movies, and they'll take inspiration, but they won't do just a straight storyline adaptation.
I agree.
So I don't know. It'll be really, really, really interesting to see.
It has to be a
where it goes.
supernatural character. Right? It has to be a supernatural enemy villain if it's leading into the Doctor Strange movie because it just has to be a supernatural villain. Because I think Marvel, I know some people say, oh, they're going to space with sword and stuff, but I think the next phase they're also planning to go supernatural because why else would they have Blade and stuff,
Well, the next phase is going to be, the phase we're in right now is going to be having more of the multiverse. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten, the traditional superhero stuff, and we got into space. Way back in phase 1 with Thor. Thor very much was clearly like, hey, they're aliens. They're just really, really strong, powerful ones. And then getting really into sci-fi stuff with the quantum realm and things, the supernatural part of Marvel with Blade and Ghost Rider is they got into it a little bit with Doctor Strange, but there is still a whole area that they haven't looked at and explored.
Yeah. So did you see the Mortal Kombat trailer today?
No, I woke up and saw that there was a new trailer. I have not had a chance to watch it yet.
I can't show it to you because I may get copyright claim,
Sure, I'll watch it. I'll watch it later. But
so
people seem to like it from what I saw.
It was very good. It's gonna be a violent movie. I tell you, it's rated R, so definitely an upgrade from the original '95 and '97 movies.
I like that '95 movie though.
The '95 movie wasn't bad. Annihilation was terrible.
I am so thankful I blocked out that movie from my memory because that was bad. I wish I could do that with Justice League. I wish I could block it out, but unfortunately, I rewatched it last year because Kind of Funny did an interview of the DC EU movies, and so I watched it with them. And
so in this trailer, you'll see how Jax will get his metal arms. It's not the same way in Annihilation where they just put metal as an experiment. It's a completely different way because it looks like they're setting up Sub-Zero as the main villain, which
as the main villain.
Yeah, because they showed him a lot
weird.
in the trailer. But we all know Sub-Zero is not the main villain. Like they show him his clan, attacking Scorpion's clan before Scorpion becomes Scorpion, right? Okay. And we all know that Sub-Zero. If you know the story of Mortal Kombat, we all know Sub-Zero is not really the one that kills Scorpion and his clan. It's really Quan Chi. But they're not gonna have that in the movie. Obviously, that might be a sequel, right? We know that, right? You know that Quan Chi is really one behind killing Scorpion's family and his clan.
I've never really been into them. I've never really been into the Mortal Kombat games. The only one I played a little bit of really was the DC versus Mortal Kombat one. So it just wasn't for me. I'm not much of a fighting game guy in general unless it's Smash.
So this movie, unlike the '95 one, has it has there's this tournament. Obviously, the tournament's gonna be the main storyline, but there's a more focus on. There's actual more of a story behind it because he got this new character and then like Crit or something, made up character, never in the Mortal Kombat games. He's a new character, and they're building.
I hate when they do that. They did the same thing with the Resident Evil movies, and they did Alice, and it's like, why?
I know. So they're building a storyline with this new character. So it's not just about a tournament. Like the tournament's gonna be involved. It's gonna be Outworld versus Earthrealm, but there's gonna be more of a story about a backstory to most of the stuff. Didn't just determine like in the original Mortal Kombat movie, Scorpion and Sub-Zero were just basically henchmen. They have nothing, right? In this movie, there's gonna be a story between those two. Sub-Zero's story with his clan and going up against Jax and all these other guys. So it looks like just behind the tournament, there's more of a story, which is good. I like that. I just don't want a tournament to be the main focus of everything.
See, I'm watching it right now, muted. So I'm not hearing what's going on, but I'm just saying, who is that playing Sonya Blade?
I don't know the actress. It's an actress I've never heard.
Because at first I thought it was Brie Larson. I was like, how did I miss Brie Larson in this? But then I got another look at it, and it's not. It almost there's one scene where it almost looked like Rachel McAdams, but that doesn't seem like a role of Rachel McAdams.
There's not a lot of A-list actors in this movie. There's some actors you recognize. The actor playing Scorpion was in the second Wolverine movie when he goes to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I fell asleep during.
But he's the father. He's the father. He played the father of the love interest in Japan in Wolverine's second movie. The Yakuza. You know what I'm talking about. Have you seen Ronin with Keanu Reeves?
No, 47 Ronin. No,
you saw Endgame. You saw Endgame, of course. Remember when Clint Barton became Ronin? Where basically Ronin, his version of anti-hero. Yakuza, right? He went to Japan to battle the Yakuza. Right. He had a 2-minute scene like in the Yakuza with the leader of the Yakuza. That's him. Yeah. He killed. That's the guy. He's playing Scorpion. And you see the Power Rangers movie from 2017?
Please, I'm a Power Rangers fan. Okay. Come on.
You know the actor that played the Black Ranger?
Oh, yeah.
He's in this movie. I'm not sure if he's Liu Kang Kung Lao, but he's one of them.
Okay. So the actress who plays Sonya is Jessica Mcnamee, who's Australian. The biggest thing she's been in looks like was in The Vow, which I didn't see.
Yeah.
So
some of these actors you might know from shows and some other movies, but most of them I never heard of till now.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't go with Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, Makad Brooks is Jax.
Yeah, Makad Brooks.
I'm a little more interested now because he was James Olsen in Supergirl.
That's why he left. That's why he left the show to film this.
Is that why he left?
I think so.
Or did he? I thought he left because he was just ready to move on.
Oh, Supergirl's ready to move on. They're canceling the show soon, like last season.
Yeah, well, she's a mom now.
Oh yeah,
she's a mom now, and now they've got Superman and Lois. So they've got a proper Superman show.
Hopefully, because that Superman and the Supergirl was a jobber.
What now?
The Superman's getting this show when he was in Supergirl, when he was future Supergirl. I'm sorry, but he was a jobber.
Well, he's supposed to be playing second fiddle to Supergirl because it's her show.
I know, but it's Superman,
Well, yeah. Look, they all can't be Tom Welling. Sorry.
Let's go to other stuff. I don't know. It's probably not a long time. Rian Johnson says there's a Star Wars trilogy in the works he's still planning on. We don't know when, but he did Last Jedi, which got mixed reviews. I didn't think it was that bad, but I understand where a lot of criticism is. But I think what happened to the sound?
Sorry, I muted myself. Sorry, I muted myself to cough, and I didn't unmute myself. It's I haven't seen Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker since theater, so I don't remember them too much. We'll see if this pans out. We'll see. I mean, let's not forget the Game of Thrones showrunners were supposed to be doing. They were supposed to be doing Star Wars, and then they ended up leaving to go do their Netflix thing. So, because that's where, and it's like, look, if it happens, it happens. But I mean, we saw from Disney Investor Day, they've got a good, solid plan for what to do with Star Wars, with all the with all the different shows. The Riders of the New Republic, Ahsoka, and other things, and then and we do have new movies these coming in. The Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie. I am so excited because my Christmas 1998, I got a Nintendo 64, and I got Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, I have Rogue Squadron.
An original Rogue Squadron, and I played the heck out of that game. I got gold medals in every mission except the one on the planet Taliban, which was basically like Bespin, and you're in. And it's one of the few missions where your default is the A-wing, and I tried countless times to get the gold medal in that in that level and never could. And I played the heck out of it. So getting a Rogue Squadron movie, I'm down. Patty Jenkins directing it, I'm down. I'm all for that. So I'm looking forward to that. To me, if Rian Johnson's trilogy happens, it's gonna be a ways off.
Yeah, that's what people are speculating. It's gonna be ways off. He just said he's planning. He's just said he's planning to do a Star Wars trilogy, but like no timeline given. It could also be just a thing to get the attention off Giancarlo's Carella's firing too.
Yeah, well, I think my impression is they knew at the Disney Investor Day. My impression is they knew she was probably going to do something that was going to end up causing her job, because they pulled her from all Mandalorian.
They warned her a lot,
and they pulled her from all Mandalorian season 2 press because it just because she was to do any press, all people were going to be talking about was all the stuff that she had said. So
they put her in a position. She put them in a position where they had no choice. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, she has a right to her opinions and stuff." A company has a right to fire you if you keep going, if you don't obey by the rules, because they still have an image to protect.
Mm-hmm.
Companies have image, and you know from jobs, employers will look at you what you say on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and they'll judge you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. They warned her lots of times, and she didn't listen. And well, she fired herself.
Mm-hmm.
And what other topics? Oh, just a minute. I'm back.
All right.
So did you see the Cruella trailer from Disney yesterday?
No, I haven't.
It's weird. It's like some people are comparing it to the Joker trailer.
Oh no, that's one of the things where I'm like, I don't really care. I haven't been high on a lot of these live action versions. Well, on these live action versions of Disney cartoons. Although I say that, and when they did the live action version of 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil, I like that one. That was fun with what's his name is the dad from Dumb and Dumber, not Jim Carrey, the
Jeff
other
Daniels.
guy. I was gonna say Jeff Daniels, and I was like, I was trying to be like, is that the guy who who was a Mobadiah Stane in Iron Man 1, or is that Jeff Bridges? Like, I just couldn't keep it straight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Jeff Bridges. It's
yeah. They
Iron Man
had
1.
it had Jeff Daniels. It had I think it was Emma Thompson as the mom. I think it was Emma. I think it was so long ago. Jolie Richardson. That's what it was.
Oh,
Jolie
okay.
Richardson. Oh, and Hugh Laurie was in it too. I forgot Hugh Laurie was in it. But like that one I enjoyed. But the recent ones that they've done recently, like, have been fine. Like, I enjoyed Beauty and the Beast. Very strange the fact that Belle is supposedly from French, but it's Emma Watson, so she had a British accent. But and also, like, you're Hermione, and it's like of course she reads a lot of books. She's Hermione. I liked the Aladdin one. That was fun. Lion King was just that one might as well not exist. And I don't know. I kind of feel like, and I didn't see the Lady and the Tramp one that came out on Disney Plus. Nor did I see the Dumbo one, because I heard Dumbo was really bad.
Yes, it was really bad.
It's it's kind of like Disney at this point, like. Oh, and then Mulan, which is the most recent one, which was just, it didn't have the fun of the animated version.
No.
And it's just like, okay, Disney, maybe just hold off on doing live action versions of your animated movies for a while, because this direction that you're taking with them, it's not like you're making money, but people aren't exactly like lining up to go see them.
Yeah. The only one I really like the most is Jungle Book.
I didn't see that. Now, which one are you talking about? Like the one that was just done a few years ago, or the one that was done like back in the 2000s, the live action one?
Oh, years ago with Bill Murray as the bear.
Okay, was that the one they just did like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that one, because I think
Good.
that came out at the same time like Netflix did their own version of it. So there's like
Yeah.
2 competing ones at the same time.
Scarlett Johansson was a snake, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I forgot who Shere Khan was. It might have been Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Let's see what else there is. Yeah, cool. At least they have Emma Stone. She looks different. I can say that.
The only thing I've really seen Emma Stone in is Amazing Spider-Man movies and Zombieland. So I'm not terribly familiar.
You ever seen her Superbad? She's a Superbad.
I've never seen Superman.
So you gotta watch Superbad with Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. Hilarious. And McLovin from who's Christopher plays a villain in Kick-Ass. That actor.
Oh, in the first one.
Yeah. And the second one, no, the second one, he's the son of the first. He's Red Mist.
Christopher Mentz?
Yeah. He's in Superbad.
Yeah. Which reminds me, we didn't talk about this. They made a Kick-Ass Kick-Ass reference in WandaVision.
Yes, they did.
It was a double. It was a double reference. Did you get it was a double? Because she says it, and because both Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is the MCU Quicksilver, and Evan Peters, who's Quicksilver now, were both in that movie.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Taylor Johnson was the hero, and Evan Peters was like one of the friends. I was like, oh, I love that.
We're gonna skip some of this.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about last week? We never got around to talk about The Last of Us casting.
Oh yeah, Pedro Pascal
and Bella Ramsey as Ellie.
I mean, Pascal's getting every role, man.
He really is. But he's good.
Yeah, he is good. He's very versatile, man. That's what I like about him.
Hmm. I think it's funny at how um when we were first hearing of them trying to do a Last of Us a movie or something, people were looking at Maisie Williams to
Yeah.
to be Ellie, who is Arya Stark in Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. And now, by the time it's come around, she's now too old to do it. But
Yeah.
hey, there's another young girl from Game of Thrones
Yeah, she's the
that
one
could
that
do
got
it.
killed in the war, right? With the Nightwalkers, what are they called?
Yeah, yeah,
She got squeezed by the giant and killed the giants also at the same time, right? That's the
yeah.
actress.
I mean, she went. Yeah, she went out in a blaze of
Yeah.
glory. But it's just like, why'd you have to kill her? She was
Game of
awesome.
Thrones.
She was
That's why.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And yet somehow, I don't know, that whole last season of Game of Thrones was like you could see the plot armor on characters. Like
Yeah.
they did so well for so long. It really make you think everybody was
Okay.
in danger. And then that
Wait,
last season, there's just everybody important has got plot armor.
it was obvious. It was kind of obvious when they had that one scene with how bad that season was. That one scene when there was a Starbucks coffee cup during the victory scene, the victory
Well,
celebration.
that was just an error though. And
You can't miss that. I was like right there.
well, they also missed a water bottle. Like I think the
Yeah.
very next episode. So like I don't fault them for that. I mean, there's a scene in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets during the dueling club scene. There's one shot where you look up and there's just a dude straight up jeans and a t-shirt, like just like clearly he's a part of the crew in the shot. Like it's like stuff like that. Like
It's like
sometimes
it's
you
like
just
it's like before a movie comes out with the editing, it's like, oh, just leave it in there.
well, or it's just they just miss it. But apparently Bella Ramsey was also in second season of his Dark Materials, which I haven't seen,
Uh,
and apparently she's really good in that. But it's I think it's fantastic casting. I think she's gonna knock it out of the park as Ellie. Um, I'm hoping. So if it's gonna be like an adaptation of the first game, at least of the first game,
yes, it's gonna be like that. I
yeah,
get it's gonna be. I
yeah.
bet it's gonna be like that.
What they need to do? They need to get the Annie Wershing to come back as Tessa because she voiced Tessa in the game, and Annie Wershing is a TV actress. She's had roles. I mean, the first thing that I saw her in was 24 as Renee. She also had roles in Vampire Diaries, in Bosch, in Timeless. I mean, she's done she's done so much TV work. She was one of the parents of she was one of the pride parents in Runaways. She's like she can do TV, and especially like it would probably only be for 2 maybe 3 episodes. Bring her in. She already knows the role. She's a legitimate TV actress. Bring her in. Let her do 2 or 3 episodes as as a role. Let her have another chance because she never got a chance to go on to do the second game. So
We'll see, man.
it's just gonna be weird because it's not being Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson voicing those characters, but
Yeah.
I'm
Those,
I'm excited for this.
those. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. Let's get to Nintendo Direct. You watched the Nintendo yesterday?
I've seen about half of it so far. I haven't gotten a chance to watch all of it yet, but I've seen about half of it so far. But I do know all of the major announcements.
So a lot of people were disappointed with the Zelda announcement.
Yeah, which is like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I remember when Skyward Sword came out, and that was getting tens across the board on all these different sites, and people were loving it because it was such a different way to play Zelda. Because people had felt bummed out about Twilight Princess. One, because it felt formulaic, but two, because it was on the Wii, and it didn't really take advantage of the motion controls, and this one finally did, and people were like,
Hmm.
you know,
I
it's
think
like a lot of revisionist history.
they're respecting the 35th anniversary. Like they have like the Mario anniversary. They're respecting like 3 games in one.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people are expecting.
Well, yeah, and that would have been nice too, especially because because you have on 3DS the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask
Yeah,
remakes, and on the Wii U you got the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker remasters, and it's like, and so yeah, it's like
and
bring
Switch
it
of the Link
all.
Awakening.
Yeah, well, it's like bring it, just bring it all to Switch. Like they have no problem doing Wii U ports. We just got Super Mario 3D World like last week, so
Hmm.
they clearly have no problem doing that. So yeah, putting it, but maybe they figure because because Skyward Sword, they did have to add in ways to play completely with buttons instead of just doing motion controls. So maybe they figured they put a little bit too much money in this to justify selling it on its own. Also, it's Nintendo, and they can sell games at full price for years. Like Mario
Yeah,
Kart 8 for the Wii U is still $60.
yeah. Their games their game prices never go down.
Yeah,
No.
and because they sell, people will
Hmm.
buy them. I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out in the first year of the Switch. It's still it is still in like the top 10 of the NPD numbers all all year long. And as a matter of fact, right now the one game that could potentially beat it, that's in second place right now, is Animal Crossing, which hasn't even been out
Yeah.
a full year yet. They can do it. But I've seen people disappointed. A, it's only one game, and B, that it's Skyward Sword, and because
Mm.
there's a lot of revisionist history when it comes to Zelda, because people didn't like Wind Waker when it first came out because of the cartoony look, and now
Hmm.
people like love that game. It's beloved, and it's like, you know, as one Daniel Bryan once said, fickle, fickle, fickle.
Oh yeah, and what about the Mario Golf is coming out?
I've never been much of a golf person.
Me too.
I know, I know. There's a lot of people who are like, let's go, and to me, it's like, the one Mario sports game I really enjoyed was Mario Tennis. I played a
Yeah,
lot of Mario Tennis on the 64.
me
Um,
too.
Mario Golf is, golf in general is just,
Boring.
yeah. I
I mean,
mean, I like going mini golfing. I like taking my kid to
it's a
a mini golfing, but regular golf, I'm just like, eh.
it's a sport where you could where you go out to play to be socialized with people you know, but watching on TV.
It's a drag. And I will say, this one did have some interesting things, like the one where it's like a race, and like where
Yeah,
where it's always your turn, and you hit the ball, and then you can run to the next place, and you can even use like a star, or and I think like a mushroom, or probably like
hmm
a fireflower too. Like that did look cool, but $60, it's like, it's
I'm
like,
like,
it's like, it looks cool. I don't feel particularly like, oh, I want to have this. I want to own this. I'm like,
yeah,
and there wasn't, and really the biggest announcements were a new Mario Golf, and then Zelda.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, and for a direct, which we haven't had a direct since September 2019. So to get to, we've had mini directs,
yeah.
and we've
Mini.
had like game directs, like specifically about a game, or about the indies. But to get a proper Nintendo direct that's 50 minutes, and walk away from it with YouTube because now announcements being a Switch version of Skyward Sword, and a new Mario Golf, like, yeah, there's a lot of people very, very, very disappointed in it, and
Yeah, it's. I mean, I was disappointed. I was expecting like the 31st anniversary and a Breath of the Wild update for number 2, but apparently they
They
said for Breath
said
of.
they said that's coming later in the year. There'll be more information coming later in the
Yeah,
year.
yeah, that's what they said. I don't believe them. I'm like you. I think it's 2022 for that video game.
Yeah.
It Zelda games Nintendo has a history of Zelda games. It takes longer than other games usually, to make to develop.
Well, they're more complex because
Yeah,
you have dungeons and things. I mean, Mario, like, well, although I mean, even Mario, like they'll take several years to do it. But there's a but the 2D Mario games. I mean, they were cranking those out, every 3 or 4 years. But yeah, I mean, Zelda will be more complicated because you've got dungeons and things, and then with the with now Breath of the Wild being such a success, and that was like a real like open world thing. That's what it's gonna take more time.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because Breath of the Wild 1. I was addicted to that game. It was so fun. Like the open world of it, the cooking, um, stuff like
I
that.
I still
Hunting,
have I've played a
chopping
little bit
wood and
of
stuff.
I've played a little bit of Breath of the Wild. I haven't gotten too into it yet. Oh, I did forget. Stubbs the Zombie is coming to Switch, which is hilarious. Do you know the
Oh yeah,
history of that game? Of Stubbs the
not really.
Zombie? So, Stubbs the Zombie. Okay. Stubbs the Zombie is the only other game besides Halo that uses the Halo engine. Like the Halo 1 engine.
Okay.
But it's not a first person shooter. It's a third person game. It's this really it's this really weird game. I never played it, but it's this really weird game where you are Stubbs and you'll go around, but it's not like you're doing like typical zombie things. I don't think. But just the fact that it runs on the Halo 1 engine, and is the only non-Halo game to ever use that engine, is the reason that's the real reason why a lot of people um don't remember it. And it doesn't look it looks like an original Xbox game. It does not look like, I thought they might have tried to like fancy it up a little bit, but nope, it's just a straight up put it in HD, call it good, and it you know doesn't look great. And then
Let's see what else
we did
there
get a
is.
Star Wars game announced
Oh yeah,
from
yeah.
Zynga, which is like, okay, well, that's kind of weird that they're making a Star Wars game, and it's not for mobile. It's for consoles, and we knew last year they were going to be making a Star Wars game because they opened a new studio in Texas. um and so yeah, this is it. It's going to be a squad based online arena multiplayer game set between Return of the Jedi and the Force Awakens. So there's been some speculation that there'll be some kind of crossover with the Mandalorian, and I mean, who knows? We know nothing of the plot, but
It's
you
just
know,
it's just a general idea announcement.
yeah. But hey, Star Wars game.
Hmm.
That's definitely something notable. Um, Real quick, what did you think of the Stadia studios getting closed?
I'm not surprised because Stadia from the start did not do well, and nobody uses Stadia that much. I
I
use it for
mean,
a little bit. I use it for
it.
free for 2 months. That's it.
And how did it run for you? I've heard different things. How did it run for you?
It was okay, not the best.
Yeah, the only thing of cloud streaming like that I've done was with the XCloud during the beta, and I did two games. I did Halo 5 and I did WWE 2K20. And Halo 5, like, it ran really well, but it's really hard because I was watching it on my phone, and so it's only about this big of a screen, and that's a game that, like, you really need to have it bigger so you can really see what's going on. Strangely enough, 2K20 ran fine. Like, no issues, none of the bugs that that they're talking about, and like, and plus, because of the camera angles for that game, when you're having a match, it actually worked pretty well on a phone. I didn't need to be able to see a whole lot of detail and things in order to be able to play it. But yeah, I didn't have any problems with it. It felt like 2K19, which is like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. But it's a shame that they closed and 150 people are losing their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And just another thing, if Google goes, we're bored of something, get rid of it. They did it with Google Plus, they did it with Google Glass.
Google ain't losing any money over this. They have tons of it.
Yeah, and that's a sad thing. The weird thing though is how, like, so apparently employees were taken aback when the announcement happened that the studios were closing, because the previous week they'd gotten an email from Phil Harrison saying, "Hey, you guys are doing an awesome job. You're doing a great job. Keep it up." And when he did an internal Q&A with people, and people were asking, "What changed between the email you sent then and the announcement?" And he goes, "Nothing. We knew." So it's like, so you knew when you sent that email.
Why lied to them?
Yeah, like, you knew when you sent that email congratulating everybody that, you knew then this wasn't going to last. You knew then you're going to be shuttering it, and it's like, and you had the audacity to say that, and then he tried blaming Microsoft, buying Bethesda as being a reason as to why. As to why they said shut down.
That's doubling down. That's just
admit
Stadia was non-profitable, wasn't working. That's all you have to do.
And they bungled it so badly. That should have been a beta when it launched, and not like because they pushed it as like a full-fledged. It's a full launch, and it clearly came out half-baked. Like, there's no doubt it came out half-baked. And and some things were out of its control. Like the big game that was supposed to be a big deal for it, that was Cyberpunk, and then Cyberpunk comes out and has all these issues. So that's and it's like well, to have the game running the best on Stadia, because and it's still having all these issues, and it's a problem on Cyberpunk's part and CD Projekt Red's part, not Stadia. But it's just, I predict by the end of next year, 2022, Stadia is going to be done. It's going to be they're going to shut it down unless they get some kind of big time deal with a third party, which could be either a third party developer, or even could be like PlayStation saying, "Hey, let's take PS Now and use and marry it with Google Stadia." But PlayStation actually has a contract with Xbox to use Microsoft servers to power PlayStation Now in the streaming part. So that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see Stadia surviving long either. And most of the games on Stadia, people rather play them on the consoles.
Well, they're all old too. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. They're all old. Yep.
The first one that came out were like Borderlands 3 and Destiny 2, and it's like, well, these have been out on, like, Borderlands 3 has been out for a year already on consoles. Destiny 2 has been out for few years now. Like it, and with no crossplay. Like the only thing you could do crossplay on there was with PC, but you can't do it. You can't do it with consoles. It was half baked, and it's never had a chance to recover, and I don't think it will.
Yeah. So you gotta go now, huh? You're 5.
Yeah, I gotta run out, pick up, pick up my kid from school, and then, celebrate my birthday with the kid. So should be good.
Yeah. Happy birthday, man! Once again, happy birthday.
You.
Celebrate celebrate on Warren Hay show.
Oh yeah. Well, I told Warren yesterday, be ready for your podcast tonight. I want your top 5 New Japan matches of all time. Consider, so that let me know so that I know what to watch. So we'll see if he delivers. He joked they were going to all be, I think he joked they
matches?
That or Master Wato matches. I'm like, no.
All right, that's hilarious. I want to hear that. All right, man. I just got a few things to talk about. Marvel Avengers is coming out for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox One next month, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're coming to DLCs.
And they got Hawkeye.
If you're a fan of the MLB The Show, if you're a fan of MLB Show baseball game, for the first time, it's coming out on the Xbox One and Xbox Series X and Y. So this is the first time the MLB is PlayStation exclusive. It's going to becoming multi-platform. That's all I gotta say. And before we go, I'm just gonna do one more thing. All you people, just listen, or who's gonna listen to this later, I just one thing to say to you. This. Come on.
No, didn't hear it.
A video clip.
Oh.
Too sweet. Sweet. Too sweet. Too sweet.
Man. That's for all the people listening to this, and the future people are gonna listen to this. So, thank you all. Follow Anakin on Twitter. Follow me on here on Aaron Entertainment on YouTube or whatever. I have a show Saturday I got set up for. So thank you for all listening. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'll have a good day. And you're all too sweet. Thank you. Bye.